In the beginning, we were born. Then we grew. Everything we knew was new.
Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love or hate? Then we see the world through different eyes. Realize it's all fairy tales and blue skies. Everyone is wearing a mask in disguise, covering up their issues with betrayals and lies. As we wish we could see through our childhood eyes. I ask you, are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread that love? Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love or hate? Everything we knew and everything we're taught. I guess we all had bigger problems than the one we saw. The battles that were won and the fights that were fought. We never absorbed all the hate and distraught. Spread that love. So spread that love. Are you gonna spread love or hate? And let each other in, or feed in temptation and ultimate sin, to learn what we didn't learn right from the start, because nowhere was place in my heart for hate. As we wish you could see through our childhood eyes once again, I ask you, spread love. I'm gonna spread love or hate. I'm gonna spread love or hate.
As you'll see from this intimate, truly unplugged performance from Chester, he had a real connection with his fans. And he was vulnerable and completely open with how he felt. And also, this comes across a lot in how he performs. And it allows him to be much more free than I think a lot of people are on stage or in a group even here. And I like to think that he would have enjoyed hearing about how people have pulled inspiration from his singing, from how he approaches his voice. And there's something extra special listening to Chester in these very raw and intimate settings, because you really get to see and hear what he's doing. So enjoy this lesson, this voice lesson from Chester Bennington as we go into this unplugged version of The Messenger. If you'd like to take things further with your voice and figure out what it can really do, and you'd like to do so in a pressure-free way, click the link below and join my free course. And I'll help you unlock stuff without comparing or being afraid to fail.
When you feel you're alone, cut off from this cruel world, your instincts telling you to run. Listen to your heart, those angel voices.
So we're talking about being on the edge of our clean voice and summoning our distortion. And nobody does it better than Chester. Listen to this section again right here. He has this belty quality on some notes. Versus and then listen to the way he says angel voices on the word angel nonetheless.
Listen to your heart, those angel voices.
That's so intentional. And you can tell because he's bellish right afterward. It's not like he's burning out his voice. If he was, he wouldn't be able to go back into such a beautiful, angelic clean. You'll see more as we go on in his facial expression and how he changes the shape of his vocal tract to get into some of that grit. There's some major giveaways. So I'm going to hold off on doing any more analyzing until we get to that part.
They'll sing to you, yeah, they'll be your guide back home in life.
Back home! That's not back home! That's a very belted, bellish sound. So great.
Leaves us blind.
Then he closes up here.
Love keeps us kind.
Listen to that again. That's the giveaway.
Home in life leaves us blind.
So close leaves us blind. He just went from heart to mind. Such incredible dynamics. Believe it or not, this freedom in dynamics is what helps him get into that beautiful, sizzly, heated grit. Now, listen.
Life leaves us blind. Love.
You can see him sort of curl his lips right before he's anticipating this change, and then he elongates. And there is this sense, if we're really going to exaggerate it, there's this, I like to think about it as this dog bark moment. Watch again, and then I'll dog barkify it.
Love.
Okay? Not love. Thine. A husky big dog, right? You can see on he approaches the pitch. Love, 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 love. He's made it so seamless, and he's done it so many times that he's putting those two approaches together. If he was just going harder and harder on his chords, like I said earlier, he couldn't clean it up because of that posture and shape change. Love, 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 love. See how I'm going in between the two postures and finding the right balance? He's already found it a million times. We can't find it right away, so we have to experiment. Start with both extremes. Love. And then love, 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 love. you're going to get all sorts of interesting balances that you can use later. And listen to how it bleeds over onto keeps. We'll play the whole section without interruption. So great.
They'll sing to you, yeah, they'll be your guide back home in life.
Love that tone.
Leaves us blind.
Lips.
Love keeps us kind. Keeps us kind.
How he turns his lips up there a little bit. Kind. To bring out that brighter sound. But you heard it again on, listen here.
Love keeps us kind.
Keeps us! Keeps us! Play with those balances. He's going to that dog bark again there. Keeps! Very, very sizzly, bright. Keeps us! That's more like the Somewhere I Belong sort of distortion. Keeps us kind.
Keeps us kind. It keeps us kind.
Man, I love hearing his voice in this context without any effects, without any doubling.
When you suffered enough and your spirit is breaking, you're growing desperate from the fight. Remember you're loved and you always will be. This melody will bring you right back home when life leaves us blind.
That slide. Blind. As he bares his teeth. Let's hear how he approaches this last part here.
Back home when life leaves us blind. Love keeps us kind.
The contrast there is even greater, right? You can see him drop, open up his throat, and summon that. Love keeps us kind. All those different ways of approaching each note. Oh.
Home when life leaves us blind. Love keeps us kind.
Cleans it up so well.
When life leaves us blind. Love keeps us kind.
The consistency of the quality of his distortion is something I've always loved about his voice. And you even hear it here. It's broken up, but it's also very together and tight. Listen to that again.
Love keeps us kind.
The best sing screamer ever. Listen to some of those belts again. So that's the love. That's where he was just like gritting it up, that same note. But here it's clean, bellish, and belted. It's oh. So same notes, completely different approach. And you can tell that what he was doing before, the gritty, different place stuff, hasn't fried his chords, because you cannot belt bellishly like that if you have swollen your chords. You're going to get all sorts of unintentional breakup. Lesson 1 in this series of voice lessons from Chester Bennington: how to find the edge of your clean voice and work over into that sizzly, heated, tight-sounding distortion. Wonderful setting, wonderful performance. We miss you, Chester. Hey, Chris Liepe here. Bad Omens, Just Pretend. What an incredible song, incredible melody, amazing vocalist. I have not seen this live performance that I'm going to be going through and analyzing. I've heard the original song bunches and bunches of times, and I thought it would be fun to check out a live version and see how he handles the chorus in particular, because of the way he breaks into different resonances and like screams certain notes and is so tender on other ones. I really wanted to see how he handled this live. If you want more help pulling from performances you love, from singers you love, and putting some of what they do in your voice, click the link below and join my free voice course, and I'll help you do just that. I'm not going to try to imitate Noah here. I realize that Noah's got an incredible voice and a really sweet, high voice. I'm going to pull inspiration from what he does. It's going to sound totally different, and some of it's probably going to sound bad, but I don't care, because I'm trying to learn, and hopefully you'll learn something too as we go through this. Let's do it.
Do me a favor while we have a second. Make some noise for all the bands that have played tonight.
Always love hearing the singers talk in this context.
And not to play favors, but please make some noise for our new friends and oxymorons. Speaking of, we played with them a few weeks ago at another Danny Wimmer festival called Welcome to Rockville. So once again, shout the fuck out, Danny Wimmer, Space Zebra. The show was incredible.
He's got such a low disposition when he raises his voice for how high and angelic he gets.
Bad Omens. And this is a new song off our new record, The Death of Peace of Mind. This song is called Just Pretend. It's alright to cry if you want. I'm not afraid of the war you've come to wage against my sins. I'm not okay, but I can try my best to just pretend. So will you leave me out? Or will you drown me out? So will you leave me out? Or will you drown me out?
There was a couple resonant shifts already. Drown me out. So he's so good at that.
Me out. So will you leave me out? Or will you drown me out?
Me out. So cool. That's it. Yes, that completely fulfilled and blew away my expectations. That's exactly what I was hoping I would hear. He actually did it more. There's more contrast in this live performance than there is on the recording, on the studio recording. He abandons into those sort of pitched screams, those short pitch screams, every other one, not just the first one. Listen again. So if we want to approach the throne of Noah Sebastian here and put a little bit of that into our voice and experiment a little, get the notes first. I can wait for you at the bottom. It's all in head voice for me right there. But now I'm going to practice abandoning up to that note. I'm going to let my voice break right as I'm getting up there. I can wait for you at the bottom. Then I can stay away if you want me to. Notice how I had to slide up to that? He can hit it much more quickly because he's practiced over and over again. But it's this idea that we want to break into that first note. With that pitch. Notice he's not really hitting that pitch. That pitch is sort of suggested, but the fact that he reinforces it every other time with head voice is super cool and makes you think that pitch even if the pitch isn't fully there.
I know the pain that you hide behind the smile on your face, and not a day goes by where I don't think I feel the same. So will you wait me out?
Oh, so will you wait me out? Really leans into that. So will you wait me out? Your head voice is not just for going high. He does such a good job of using it as an articulator.
I don't think I feel the same. So will you wait me out?
Stays light there.
Or will you tell me out?
Yes.
So will you wait me out? Or will you drown me out? I can wait for you at the bottom. I can stay away if you want me to. I can wait for you.
So that first one, did you notice how he did a why can wait, right? And then he attacked the other one with the really cool.
Drown me out. I can wait for you at the bottom. I can stay away if you want me to. I can wait for years if I gotta. Heaven knows I ain't getting over you.
Oh, he has this ability to sigh. That's part of what keeps him thin up there. Thin is the wrong word. Light. If he's going over you and reaching, like I was kind of doing a little bit as I was trying to get that balance between the scream and the singing. But if you can lighten up and think sighing and thin over you, yeah. See how much lighter I am? I'm not going yeah or yeah. It's yeah. Because there's a sigh on either side of the note. He's mastered this, and this is why he can be thinner or lighter, even so high, and even though his voice, his speech voice, isn't really that much higher than mine.
I can stay away if you want me to. I can wait for years if I gotta. Heaven knows I ain't getting over you. We'll try again when we're not so different.
Right there, the different. That's a big deal. Work that into your voice if you want to save it so it doesn't get tired so easily because you're not getting locked into one position. And if you want to add some interest.
We'll make a mess. Till then I'll just pretend. I'm gonna ask again, are we having fun right now?
Right, we just went from to I'm gonna ask again right now. Such a different sound. He knows how to use his mixed voice. He knows how to not get locked into a strained, pulling chest up sort of resonance.
Me too. We're down on me, stay till morning. We're down. Would you say I'm worthy? We're down.
You can hear a little bit of pitch correction on it. I don't know. A lot of people are doing that live, and you hear that dip, the way down, which is something that was unnatural. This guy can sing. This guy can really, really sing. And I feel like, especially, you can tell sometimes he's going up and he's getting his ears and adjusting them. He can't hear himself very well. And having been someone who's tried to sing with pitch correction, it can be really frustrating because what you're doing and what the pitch correction is doing isn't squaring. And so you have this sort of like fighting that you do sometimes. I think that's what's happening here. It's a bummer, but just take it off and let, I don't know. Oh, yeah. Notice he kept that vowel at yo! It wasn't yo! A lot of people, when they're singing high, tend to elongate the oo vowel into an O, but he kept it over you! And it really works so much better for the lyrics of the song for him to keep it that way. It sounds more natural. It would sound sort of contrived the other way in this context. Not always, but in this context, I'm so happy he kept that vowel. Just said it there. There's that, yeah! Those sighs are everywhere. Pretend! What a cool trait. I'm telling you, it's there for a lot of reasons. Expressiveness, vocal budgeting, and it's actually a way to discover a lot of different kinds of tones your voice can make. Just got a little break here.
We're down on me, morning, we're down. Would you say I'm worthy? Hell yes, my friends, thank you.
What a fantastic live performer and vocalist. Having heard the original studio version so much, it was fun to see him in this smaller venue setting, giving it everything. And some of the articulations that he did here, some of the ways he dug into the chorus, are actually like better here than I like on the studio recording. And that's saying a lot because I love the way he did the studio recording. Thanks so much for watching and asking for more Bad Omens. Keep making requests. Keep telling me what you guys want to hear me analyze and react to. Happy to do it. And again, if you'd like more help unlocking your voice and freely discovering what it can really do, click the link below and join my free voice course. We'll see you for more. Hey, Chris Liepe here. Yes, new Avenged Sevenfold. What a spring it's been for heavy music. Let's just get right into it. Oh yeah, that's stop motion, right? His voice sounds great. I've always loved the sound of M. Shadow's rasp, grit in particular. The way that he implements compression, you just know it's him singing. Let's back it up a little bit and unpack his sound. First of all, hear his slides. Right in the shadows. Those are the notes, But let's go to the approach now. Right? No, that's how I'd naturally sing it. We want to change what we do and feel it out. Right? Lower the larynx. Right? And then practice holding back a bit of air. Right, right, right. I darkened, lowered my larynx. Right, right. Changes my placement. Now I want to feel out the effects of this lifting something heavy idea with my right. It should feel high. It should feel like it's above your voice box. Right in the shadows. That's beginning to sound a little bit more like him. Right in the shadows. Then combine that with the notes. This takes a lot of work. And if you're interested in going further in these types of techniques, click the link below and join my free voice course. Right in the shadows. Here how the distortion coming out in my voice has been laid over, quite literally, the sound that I'm producing with my primary vocal cords. This is the sound we hear here. Clean there. So you can hear that he's not just the whole time. He's very dream. He's very clean in certain parts, and he's holding back air and squaring that with pitch over just certain notes. That creates the overall feeling of being aggressive, but also sort of laid back. Gives him somewhere to go and saves his voice a little too. Coming down. There's a sense that he's laying back in the beat, that he's able to float over this drudgy melody. A lot of singers tend to get a little bit too hyped when they start getting aggressive with his voice, but he's found this perfect balance between aggression and sedatedness or relaxation. Now here he's ahead of the beat. He switched gears. Right? Key dynamic shift. This is what makes vocalists interesting. Backed off. His timing, his pocket, the way he's pulling back, the way he's pushing, the way he's phrasing is extremely important to notice here. Listen to that chorus again and listen to how he's developing the words awake and alive. I am the sun, yeah. Listen. Hear how the vowel slowly changes? I'm awake. I'm awake. And with it, his flavor of grit changes slightly as well. He's not a static singer. He's a very dynamic singer. He places things very differently. Even though he's got this overarching dark sound, the fact that he moves his placement around and uses long held out words in this context to shape the sound. It's not just about singing the words. It's not just about hitting the notes. It's this wonderful tone shaping and arcing that's happening in the midst. That's what makes his voice so interesting and engaging, and what makes these lyrics so hooky.
I am the sun,
Static there. Alive, I'm alive. Experiment with that in your own voice and don't judge what comes out. Just figure out how you can make things sound differently over just one word. I'm alive. You'll discover all sorts of tonal possibilities and approaches in your own voice if you can do that. Oh, that's awesome! He's combined this faster tempo pushing of the beat like I talked about earlier, and his dragging the beat back. So we have these two forces pushing and pulling at each other that are both voices over the music. Now, this brings up another amazing writing technique, and this happens in movies, this happens all over the place, is this idea of foreshadowing. He has done both of these things, and what we come to find out is that both of these ways of delivering his vocals over the song now come together and work together and help sort of finish the musical plot, if you will. Genius writing, genius arranging. That is a wonderful sounding tone. Begins to shatter the skies. Begins to shatter the skies. I love that the extra distortion that's put on that line and how it's a bit more band limited and EQ. Pan slightly over here to give it this sort of nagging over here. But that tone that he gets on skies, oh. Ooh. Brings that hook back. Cover my eyes and see. What an amazing dynamic shift. Little flangey effect there on eyes. Nice. Back to some familiarity here. Ooh, now listen, this is just going back to his grit. If we take those words, in equal phase, right? In is really clean. In equal phase. This way, we're not trapped in trying to be distorted all the time, and we can be more expressive and dynamic. He's very good at this. How he slides, it just creates so much tension, just begging to be released. Love it.
Started again, beyond death and born on the wind. I am the sun.
about blues influence on that. Yeah. How clean that was. How he cleans it up. Wonderfully masterful control over his own dynamics, compression, and expression. That's neat. Notice how he really gritted it up over tear. Tear in the sky! This is narrative storytelling through being attentive to your lyrics, through song. Not just singing notes, not just, I want to be distorted because I want to have that grit of my favorite singer. No, he's telling a story. He's arcing characters. He's being engaged with the meaning of why he's doing what he's doing. And that lends to this idea of when there's a word like tear, you want your voice to sound like it's tearing. Yeah. Is that singing in the round again? Yes. Ooh. I love stuff like this. The fact that we can live in and appreciate a guitar solo in 2023. Thank you, Avenged Sevenfold. And I feel slightly connected to this skeleton. I haven't been paying as much attention to the video on this first listen. I'll have to go back and watch the video again and really appreciate the art of this. Some very vocal notes in that guitar solo. Wow, I love his tone. It sounds like a single coil sound, which I love it when there's you get that sort of staticky pick attack that you don't get as much when you overdrive a single coil sounded pickup. Nice. We return to the room. Returns to the man. Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah. Like I said, I really want to go back and just pay attention to that sub story in the video. As the skeleton gets out of the man, walks around and has this experience and goes back in. I'd read through the lyrics, and that's one of the reasons I love songs like this from bands that I've been following for a while, is that there's a lot of depth. The more you listen, the more you watch, the more you engage with things, the more you pick up on the art of it all. And listening through and doing a vocal analysis the first time, sometimes you miss a lot of those other things. And what I particularly like about the vocals on this track is something I've mentioned in other Avenged Sevenfold videos that I've done, is that he has this wonderful way of taking you on a journey even within one particular phrase. I love that that's still represented here. His voice sounds better than ever. Again, if you'd like more help with your own voice, taking some of the things out of songs that you love, out of vocalists that you love, and figuring out how to do it with your own voice in a way that's safe and freeing, click that link below and join my free course. We'll see you for more. So you don't really know how this is going to go. This is the first time you will have sung this all together.
All the way through from start to completion. This upcoming Under Oath tour is the first time that I'll have done it with the band. So this is happening before that.
So you're practicing.
This is practice for the tour, essentially.
Slow or fast, it's all the same.
This is like the most grueling and scary thing to do, right? Live in studio.
Just singing over a backing track that's quieter, and it's just everything's out there for everyone to see, or for everyone to hear, rather.
You compose as you record.
Yeah.
So, taking the first verse 70,000 times until you get just exactly the way you want to do things. And how do you translate that? Doing what you do in the studio to now trying to sing it all the way through in one pass.
A lot of times it's just trial and error, and I'm going to meet up with the guys to practice a week before this tour, so I'll get all the wiggles out then, and then just hammering it every night live and just working out exactly how it should be done. That's a deceivingly hard line to sing, that chorus, how much everything's jumping around.
Have you ever gone to workshop something for live and gone, shouldn't have done that on the record. I don't know if I can ever do that live. Or have you always been able to pull through? There
have been parts like that in stuff where I've realized that ahead of time before we play it live. That's why we've never played the song Frog and Bullfish live.
Oh, okay.
There's so much going on vocally and things on top of each other without places for breaths, and cutting out parts would ruin the flow. So it's not a live song, and that's my fault mainly. Just open things up a little bit, Cheers, dude.
Cheers.
Let's give it a try.
Okay.
You take the long way to find me. Yeah, the time is now. I never would have thought this is the new me. So many people, so many faces left to place around me. You're ready to play dead, I'm ready to face the facing. As I'm falling to pieces, the vultures are feasting. We breathe a breath, long way down. Now we'll say this. I'm in now. Past the mark I've missed. Mistakes running through my brain. There's a lesson to be learned and I'll heal again. Bloodstains cover all the walls. Climb the paths of his patient doll. Throw his head like a marionette. Strings on my lips, rope on my neck. That ever low exists within my bed. Counting every misstep till it's time to reset. Can't feel so low, the love I know. It's all the same now. This is a one-way road. It feels so low. The love I've known, floating on my own. Slow or fast, it's all the same now. Somebody do it slowly. Kill me slowly. The past is cutting through me. In all the imperfections they show. Heartbeat haunts me when
sweating.
The past is cutting through me, and all the imperfections they show. Heartbeat haunts me, when all the bad times stay, and I don't know what to do with them. I'm burning like wildfire. Take me fucking out of this hole. Heartbeat haunts me, 'cause all the bad times stay, and I don't know what I'm doing here.
Felt good about most of that. There's some timing issues, and I think I might have fucked up a lyric or two, but hey, it's rock and roll.
Pretty good for a first run through.
Not bad.